good evening everybody, and happy days at Terra Firma Guitar Channel, because a new guitar is in the house. And I do appreciate everyone's comments. And one was, look, if you just saved up your money and bought one really nice guitar, you can afford it because you've just been buying so many guitars. And look, I absolutely have to acknowledge that's true, but I don't fall on that side of the fence. I do fall on the side of buying lots of cheap guitars in the hope that I find a fantastic one. Or, I don't know anyway why I do it, but a lot of us do. And so, case in point, here is an Epiphone Junior. And I just couldn't resist picking this guitar up. And I paid 200 Australian dollars for it. And it's, I'm guessing 2011, so that makes it 12 years old. It's got these tuning pegs which work, but that, you know, that the shape of this casing sort of screams cheap. Made in China, do not dispose in bin, and it's got an inspected garboard. And so garboard is Hungarian, which is odd. So there's a Hungarian over there in China. It's black, and I really like the neck, and everyone said online that these guys have chunky necks, which it does. Love it. Also, it's got the bolt-on. So look, if you're looking at this review thinking you want to get one of these, I think you could probably say there's a correlation between this guitar and the bolt-on juniors that they're selling at the moment. And they're pretty much the bottom of the heap in terms of the cheapest guitars you can get of this kind. And I'm not sure if the reflection's working on that, but it says, Epiphone, performance is our passion, a part of the Gibson family of brands. So this one was on Gumtree, and look, it's in really good condition. It's got this lovely tobacco sunburst, and the reason I did buy this guitar was it's actually had the pickup replaced. The fellow told me that it came with a humbucker, and he's replaced it with this really nice P90 style humbucker format pickup, and it is a Tonerider. And I'm going to have to check the name of it. Look, it sounds fantastic. And here's the beautiful thing about this guitar. It's got this Wilkinson wraparound bridge with the intonatable, is that a word? So 2 big upgrades, and apparently he put also CTS pots here. So it's had some money spent on it. It really is really nice. And as I say, I really like the neck, and it is chunky. And it's got a black nut. And it's got quite a thick multiply scratch plate. Yeah, so this is a Rebel 90 Alnico 2 scatter wound P90 type pickup, and it's got 9.3K output. So it's quite a high output, but to be honest, compared to my humbucker guitar, it's not as loud. So I'm wondering about that output, whether that translates to volume. But I'm a big fan of Tonerider. They are, on the budget side, they're made in China, but it's an English company. And I have the A2 humbucker Classic, A2 Classic in my Les Paul. Well, I really want to have a P90 style guitar just to see what it sounds like. And so far, so good. Okay, so just hearing this guitar acoustically, the tuners feel fine. Well, I can find no high frets on this. So turn him up on his edge. They're dead level, and I've got to say, I bought this from a compounding chemist, and I went into the chemist, and there he was, and he pulled it out from behind the counter. And he said he dressed the frets, and it struck me that he knows what he's doing because he did the upgrades, and he said he could dress frets. And so these are dead level. So all right, so this is the cavity for the pots, and it's shielded. Now I think that maybe the guy who owned it did this shielding. Looks like quite a nice job. It's the back of the cover. Yeah, so there it is. Looks good. Okay, so I've been living with the Junior for a little while. There's something weird about this guitar, right? See that B note, there's something like retarding the way it rings out. It's also the G, the B, and the E. They're all a little bit kind of like muted, and I'm wondering if it's this cheap plastic nut, and the strings are set quite deep in there. They've been obviously filed in, but I need to work on the nut maybe. And presenting 1 order of magnitude more expensive than the little Junior by Epiphone. And this is the deluxe Eastman 486.